Hi guys, my name is Emily DeSimone with the Garden State Film Festival, and here with me today I have director, writer, co-producer Adam Chor, assistant director and co-producer Allison Lee, co-producer Talia Steinmetz, and director of photography Carly Drabeck. How are you guys all doing today?
Great. Doing fine.
Good, thanks.
Good, thank you.
Thank you so much for joining me today. So, Adam, it seems like you're kind of like the ringleader for this whole thing. So, would you like to give our live viewers a tidbit about the film?
Sure, yeah. Taste of China is a short film about a Chinese immigrant couple that comes to America to open a takeout and really just chase the American dream. It's a story about dreams, about sacrifice, and about family.
And what inspired your writing for this?
So this film follows closely some of the stuff that happened in my life. Growing up, my parents came here, over from China, didn't know anybody, didn't know how to speak the language, and yet they made a successful business opening up a Chinese takeout. And after school every day, I go and help them. So firsthand, I got to see the struggles they went through and all the adversity they had to face in order to make a life for me and my siblings.
That's a wonderful story. So, being a first-time generation, or I guess first-generation student here, that's amazing. So, the rest of you guys, so are you all students together?
We were.
At
Yeah.
which program?
Montclair State University.
So this was a production for the program.
Correct. This was my thesis film. So we graduated last May, but we created this while we were still in school.
Well, congratulations on everyone graduating. And so,
Thanks.
with that, I would love to ask, what got each of you, like, what was it for each of you that inspired you to pursue the film industry?
Okay. So I guess for me, it just comes down to telling stories is kind of an outlet for myself. Not seeing much of the stories that I wanted to see growing up, it was tough to kind of imagine myself on the big screen. Not much representation, not much of telling what it means to be Asian American, because that identity is really blurred sometimes between being American or being Asian and trying to stay to your roots, but also trying to assimilate to the culture that you're surrounded with. And I didn't really see that kind of representation in film. Nowadays it's getting a lot better, and I think that's also just a big push for me to continue where I'm going with my storytelling. So that's a big reason for why I chose film.
That's awesome. Who wants to go next?
I guess I'll go. I don't know. I think growing up, I had I think like most children, like in the early 2000s, was and probably before that, was kind of left to my own devices a lot with watching like television and stuff, and always watching movies and TV. And uh, since it was such a big part of my life growing up, and I thought a lot about when it came time to decide what I wanted to do. I thought a lot about how important and influential like the people on TV that I saw, and I really like kind of fell in love with the idea of helping create that for other like children and other people. So that's kind of what brought me into the entertainment like film TV industry. And then similar to Adam with this film in particular, I feel like there's a lot of Asian American immigrant stories that aren't really getting told. At least on an accessible level, and I feel like it was great to have been a part of that for this film.
How about
Carly, do you want to go? Or...
You can go, Talia. Go ahead.
Okay. So I think similar to Adam, I've always been a storyteller since I was a kid, writing my own stories and stuff. So I really got into a film wanting to share stories, tell stories, and especially raise, voices that aren't heard or seen or maybe portrayed in a more accurate or realistic way. Like we might see some representation, but is it really accurate, or is it just what like people want to see but not the actual truth? And that's one of the things that I loved and still love about Adam's film and Adam's writing overall. It's always a very in-depth and emotional but very real look at the people in the stories he's telling. So yeah, the storytelling aspect for me as well.
It's awesome that like you guys have like this wanting of like representation that really drove you into the industry. Carly, is it the same for you as well, or do you have a different reason what brought you into the film industry?
Just a love for photography got me into my love for cameras. And then in high school, I joined the digital video club and then interned on my first film set. And from there, I was really just in love with it and wanted to pursue film further on. And then in college, me and Adam just had a great working relationship. He would direct, I would DP. I would direct, he would DP, and then that just really grew into a fantastic working relationship between the two of us. And I love telling Adam's stories because Adam really has a very important message and a loud voice, and a very beautiful way of telling his view on the world and everything like that. So yeah.
Do you guys all like, are you all from North Jersey?
Nope.
Central.
Yeah,
I guess-
I'm from South Jersey, Philly area, so about that area, yeah.
I'm down. Oh,
No, you
okay.
go. You go.
I'm down near Adam. I'm just going. Because I'm like, I know we live near each other. I'm in Pennsylvania, but
Okay.
still near Philly, but in the Pennsylvania side of things.
Awesome.
I'm from Central Jersey. I'm from like the beach area, so near like Belmar. I'm from a town called Wall Township, which is really boring, but
Okay. No, it's not. And Carly, where are you from?
Long Branch, another
Okay.
Central Jersey Shore area.
So
yeah.
since you guys are all like really close to, and in New Jersey, I mean, who got exposed to the Garden State Film Festival? Like, how did you guys find that?
Yeah, it really comes from just being in film classes and whatnot. Professors talk a lot about the Garden State Film Festival, especially being in Montclair State University, where they take everything pretty seriously with the festivals and whatnot, and they kind of just let you know ahead of time that while you're producing these films, there's a chance to submit to festivals, and why not do it? Because you never know what could happen. And on top of that, we've also had friends that have graduated in the past that have been accepted to the film festival. We've been to the film festival, so we know all about it. It's just a matter of like, can we get into it? And here we are. So
Yeah, and congratulations on getting in.
thank you.
Really awesome, you guys. So, Adam and Carly, like you guys had mentioned that you've worked together before. For like all four of you, is this your first project all working together, or have you worked together in the past?
Yeah, we're kind of all like a modge podge of people, like our groups that we've luckily through the program, they did a good job in the beginning of kind of helping kind of push students together, and then over the course of the 4 years we were able to really evolve professionally and personally, and we just kind of found each other. But if I'm not mistaken, we had all worked with each other on at least one other set before, but I think this is the first set that the four of us like were concrete on a project, and it was really, because of that, it was an amazing process.
Yeah, I've worked with all of you like 5 times. We're like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Carly and Adam and I were all in like Film One together.
Oh yeah.
Way back when. So before this, we'd all had kind of either other projects with just one or two of us, but I think Allie is right that this was the first one with all 4 of us together, which was really exciting because we were able to bring all 4 of our strengths to it. And it was a really great project in the end.
I would love to know, because like I know you guys are just fresh out of college from studying everything that you've been working on for this film. So what is something that this film, like a challenge that was brought to you with this film, that you learned from that you can apply further in your career?
It's a lot. For me, it's almost, when you direct a film and write a film that so closely resembles your life, you also have to be able to step back from it to know that like it's not just about you. Like you wrote the story. It's still, the story should be self-contained. So for me as a director coming into this, yeah, I wanted to put as much of my personal life into it because really making films is very therapeutic for me. But at the same time, I wanted to step back, want to be able to direct the actors in a way that they can relate to the characters and not just being me. So I hope that makes sense. But that was one of the biggest struggles. Another struggle was probably just I gotta imagine the producing side, logistics, man. I don't know how Ali and Talia did it, but like they killed it there. So I'll let them talk more about that.
Tal, you want to go first?
Yeah, especially since I started laughing at the question. My immediate first thought was just having it's just logistic. There with every film that you make, there's always some logistics thing that will go wrong. And ours was weather, because we were shooting outside for some of it, and a snowstorm came through. And so we had to figure out what to do about that, and especially because we were coming down from Montclair, North Jersey, and filming down in Philly area. So we also had to drive. So we actually had to push the shoot back. And that was just interesting to handle. So for me, that just, I mean, you can't really control the weather, unfortunately, but just to kind of have a backup plan for weather reshoots, which may or may not come up, because that was quite a scramble morning of, if I remember correctly.
Yep. Another uncontrollable set of circumstances, I'll say, was us having to shoot in an inner city environment. Because I know Adam, having kind of grown up in that area and being around it a lot, that was definitely an experience and a taste of Adam's like upbringing that really helped strengthen the story. But from a logistical end, we're not a huge studio that has the ability and the resources to kind of rent out and block off sections of a city. So us and our film we were definitely up against the environment, the people. Not really like knowing what was going on. They see a big light, they think it's a camera, they're getting in shots. And so that was a really, really honestly fun kind of hurdle that us and our crew had to go through and deal with, and just kind of everyone took it to the face, but with such grace, and we all embraced the environment. But I think that was probably the biggest challenge, and the first time I had ever had to deal with logistics of operating of parking, housing, food, and filming inside of that environment. So it was very interesting and fun for me, at least.
And Carly, how about you?
I feel like on me and Adam's end personally, in terms of shooting it and finding out visually the style that we wanted, it was pretty straightforward from the get. I mean, of course, there were challenges in terms of getting equipment and renting this and that, and location scouting was another thing because we needed a space big enough, but also that embodied a tiny Chinese restaurant that didn't really have a lot of tables. There were complications, but I mean, in the end, the crew made up for it because everybody is such a good hard worker and so smart and intelligent, and every problem that we faced technically was resolved very quickly because we had such a great support system around us.
I do have to say, like, when I've been interviewing like producers, it does seem like, the unexpected, inevitable, uncontrollable, just like events that like come into play just seem to be like the biggest hurdle for producers. So, and then Adam, you're actually the first director I've talked to that you said like separating your like personal life kind of from it, like trying to, while also like trying not to get, I guess, too close to it. So that was like, you're actually the first person that said that. So that's actually like a really cool note to take. I wish I could keep going on with you guys because I feel like I have so many more questions, but will I be meeting you in person at the film festival?
Definitely.
Yep, I'll be there.
Yeah, me too. I'll be there.
Awesome.
we'll hopefully be there. We'll see.
Well, if for
Yeah, I
whatever
live in
reason,
Maryland, so hopefully.
for whatever reason I don't get to meet you in person, thank you so much for jumping on with me today and getting to answer a couple of my questions. For all of our live viewers, A Taste of China will be screening on Saturday, March 25th at the Cranford Theater from 4 p.m. to 6 p.m. And you can buy tickets at the Garden State Film Festival, gsff.org/tickets. You guys, I hope you are having a great start to your week and that you have a great rest of your week. And if you can all make it, it will be such a pleasure to meet you in person.
Awesome.
you
Thank
so
you so
much.
much.
Thank you.